Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination.
All right, so I just got to talk to Paris Themin, and now I'm here with Julie Dawn Cole, Veruca Salt.
That's me.
Willy Wonka. That is you, indeed. Now, are you as much of a pain in real life?
Yes, definitely. I want it, and I want it now. Yes.
I love it. So, like I asked Paris, what does it feel like to be part of such a beloved film?
An honor, a privilege. How lucky are we that the movie that we had a lot of fun doing is still bringing a lot of fun and joy to other people. All these years later. I mean, nobody could predict that.
Right, right. And now the golden egg scene.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it was my 13th birthday, and it took place over more than one day, probably about a week, shooting the whole sequence. So it culminated with going down the chute, and that was my 13th birthday. So they gave me some chocolate cake, and they said, right, now, get down that chute. So that was my 13th birthday.
Wow, okay. So with that being said, I know Paris mentioned something about seeing the chocolate factory.
Yeah.
Were you the one?
Yeah, I was the one. In my defense. So I was out in Germany where it was being shot, and I'd gone out a little bit early to record my song. And while I was there, the designer, Harper Goff, and set builder, Logan Frazee, said, did I want to see around the set, the chocolate room? So of course I said yes, of course. They were still building it, it wasn't completed. And then Mel Stewart, our director, said on no account were the children allowed to see this chocolate room. But it was too late.
You already had. I mean, as Veruca should.
Of course, of course. But I didn't have the courage to tell Mel that I'd seen it. So I kept quiet.
Right,
For 35 years, I kept quiet. I didn't tell him. Until in the end, we were in New York at an event, and he was telling the story, and they never saw the thing, and I filmed their original reaction. I was like, oh, I can't listen to this lie anymore.
No,
so I told him.
Okay, there we go. And now, did that chocolate room, I mean, I know it wasn't a chocolate, did it have a smell? Like, I don't know,
No, not so much.
Okay.
The chocolate river was a kind of chocolate ice cream powder, but it had been.
It was?
It was, but it had been hanging around for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Not good.
So it was churning for real.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was bubbling.
And what was it like working with Gene?
Oh, Gene, amazing man. The bluest eyes I've ever seen. Those beautiful blue eyes. Very kind, very patient, tolerant. You've got 5 kids bouncing around, probably having too much sugar. But he was a nice man. Nice man.
And finally, what's it like meeting fans and knowing that this film has done so much? Because it has done so much for me.
Yeah. Well, we kind of talk about the Wonka effect, that people can be having a rotten day, and then you mention Wonka, and they suddenly all become kids again. Pete, Paris, and I went to the White House recently, and one of the Secret Service broke protocol and said, "Could I take a selfie?" And that's kind of like, these are hard-bitten, these are Secret Service, serious people, and they're kind of like, kids.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and thank you for making such a memory and bringing Veruca to life in the best way.
Dreadful girl. Dreadful girl. Thank you.
At 7:45.